بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. Okay, inshallah, we're moving forward with our fiqh, and we left off at Mas al Khufain wa Shara'ituhu, wiping over the socks, leather khufs, and its conditions. And he said that there are three conditions. One, أن يبتدع لبسهما بعد كمال الطهارة, so that you begin your wearing of the socks after you had a complete purification. So whether that was you made ghusl or wudu, then you place the socks on. So you have to have a complete purification before wearing the socks. All right. وأن يكون, number two, أن يكون ساترين لمحل غسل الفرد من القدمين, and that the socks that they cover the places that are necessary from the feet to be covered. وأن يكون مما يمكن تتابع المشي عليهما, and that they're sufficient enough that you're able to walk in them. ويمسح المقيم يوما وليلة, and so the person who's muqim, meaning he's a resident, they're not traveling, they're in their home city, then they can wipe for night and day, or day and night rather. So they have basically 24 hours to, if they wanted to keep those socks on without removing them and practicing the wiping up on them. والمسافر, the one who's traveling, ثلاثة أيام بلياليهن. So you have 3 days along with their night. So he has 72 hours. وابتداء المدة من حين يحدث بعد لبس الخفين. So that the time period begins after you made your you were wearing them and you made like your first something happened where it violated, so now you wipe them. So now that time, from that time that you wipe to the 24 hours basically. All right. So from the time that you do the first wiping, not from the time you actually put them on. Okay. So once, yeah, you understand? So once you begin the wipe, the first time you use the wiping, that's when the time begins, not from the first time that you put them, because you still may have your tahara, right? So you have, so just for example, you put them on at Fajr, right? You make wudu, you put them on at Fajr, and you don't break your wudu to Asr, okay? You break your wudu, you make wudu, and then you wipe the top of your socks. That's when the time began. So you have 24 hours. Like, so then what invalidates? ويبطل المسح بثلاثة أشياء. So 3 things will make or invalidate the wiping. B, خلعهما, so removing them. So once you remove them, then you have to make now wudu, complete wudu, washing the feet. So you can't remove them and then put them back on and then make wudu and wipe. You have to make new wudu with them off, because you took them off. So in order to use them again, you have to be in state of purification and then put them on. وانقضاء المدة, or the time has passed. If you muqim, how long do you have? 24. And you're musafir, traveler, 72. وَمَا يُوجِبُ الْغُسْلِ, and whatever makes ghusl, the taking the shower, the washing of the complete body, whatever makes that obligatory. So what are the things that make ghusl obligatory? Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And also losing, uh, huh? No, that is invalidate the wudu, not ghusl. Okay. طيب. Next, فصل التيمم وأحكامه. التيمم وأحكامه. So a tayammum is what we call the dry ablution. So you're not using water. Instead, you're using like clean earth or sand or dust, right? وشرائط التيمم خمسة أشياء. So the conditions of tayammum are five things. Number one, وجود العذر بسفر أو مرض. So the permission or excuse is there for the one who's traveling or sick. والدخول وقت الصلاة, and the time of prayer has come in. So the time for the prayers come in, then you make a tayammum. وطلب الماء, and you've sought water. وتعذر استعماله وإعوازه بعد الطلب. And so then you have an excuse for using. So you have an excuse or the incapability or capacity to use water after you did what? Look for it. After looking for it. What turab, and the dirt or the earth, at-tahir, is clean or pure, meaning you do not smell or taste it. There's nothing there that's invalid, makes it impure, right? So when people say, well, it's dust, it's dirt, it's on the ground, doesn't make it impure. Right. وَلَهُ غُبَارٌ فَإِنْ خَلَطُهُ جِسٌ أو رمل لم يجزي. So the earth must be clean, and if it's mixed with what they call like gypsum or sand, it says here it doesn't suffice. So some of the scholars, like Imam al-Nawawi, mentioned that dust mixed with coarse sand is acceptable for dry ablution when the sand is coarse enough that its grains do not prevent dirt from reaching the skin below. Because you have like some, and it is like uh, dusty as well. So in the absence of both water and pure earth, one performs the obligatory acts of prayer, and then makes it up with purification. It's possible. So, for example, if you couldn't find either, and you can't find water, you can't find any clean dirt, then you pray. Then you pray, and then there's those. Uh, yeah. So then you pray, and when the water or whatever becomes available, then you make the new wudu. No. So it's also uh, okay to do your tayammum with sand. Like the four things. وفرائضه أربع. So it has four obligations. Number one, niyyah, having the intention. So you intended to make this wudu, right? But with tayammum or dust in exchange for the water, right? So there's nothing you have to say, but the intentions is where in the heart. Masul wajh, wiping the face. Okay. Masul yadain, mirfaqain, and here it says wiping the hands along with, excuse me, along with the elbow. And the fourth was tartib, having this order. Shukran jazeelan. Okay. Bismillah. Thank you. طيب. مس الوجه ومس اليدين وفي بعض نسخة متن إلى مرفقين ويكون مسحهما في ضربتين. So also it says when you're going to uh, do it, is some say it's just one and some says two. ولو وضع يده على تراب ناعم فعلق بها تراب من غير ضرب كفى. So even if so some say you have to like pat the ground so that it stays there. But if you touch it and it doesn't and you don't it stays without you having to, double pat or whatever, then that's okay. So as long as it's on your hand. So you must follow the do your face before the hands. So if you do hands before the face, then it's not correct. أخذ تراب للوجه واليدين ولو ضرب بيده دفع على التراب مس بيمينه وجهه وبيساره ويساره طيب. So from the sunnah of tayammum, ثلاث أشياء. So three things that are sunnah in regard to the tayammum. Number one, التسمية أن يقول بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والتقديم يمنى, meaning start with the right على يسرى. So start with the right before the left. كل طيب والموالاة, and then to do this uh, right away. So again, like in the wudu, that you don't wait time between the each thing that you do it back to back. والذي يبطل التيمم ثلاثة أشياء, and there's three things that invalidates your tayammum. Number one, كل ما أبطل الوضوء, everything that invalidates the wudu also invalidates your tayammum, right? So like passing gas, you do number one. Number two, that invalidates wudu, it also invalidates your tayammum. اثنين, ورؤية الماء في غير وقت صلاة, And so if you see water outside of the time of the prayer, so the water becomes what available. Waridda. Ridda is like if one who does what they abandon Islam. They abandon Islam. May Allah protect us from this. I mean, وصاحب الجبائر يمسح عليها ويتيمم ويتيمم ويصلي ولا إعادة إليه إن كان وضعها على الطهر. So if he has science, يصلي ولا إعادة إليه. طيب. So if a person, for example, if they had like they were wearing socks already and they were already uh, uh, had wudu or they were in state of purity, they could just make tayammum and pray. They don't have to go back again. Okay. ويتيمم ويتيمم لكل فريضة. And so you would make tayammum for each prayer. So one tayammum does not suffice for multiple prayers. So you have to do it each time. Okay. So it's not like the wudu. So the wudu, one do as long as you don't break it, you good. But the tayammum, you have to make it for each time, each prayer to come in. ويصلي بتيمم واحد ما شاء من النوافل. Also from the nawafil, you can do as many um, you want with that one tayammum. So if you want to pray so a nawafil with sunnah prayer, and then you want to pray another one, and you haven't broke your tayammum, you could do that. So it's not the farida. So the obligatory prayers, no, you have to change for each one. I mean, make a new tayammum for each one. طيب. The last we'll take today, inshallah. This is the najasat, bayan najasat wa izalataha. So the different types of najasat, impurities, and removing them. وكل مائع خرج من السبيلين. So everything that comes from the two pathways that is wet or liquid or whatever. Uh, so number from the front or the back, najisun, except so it's impure. Illa al mani. So except for mani. So the mani is what? The the semen. Okay. Okay. So that's the fluid released during this, right? Or females. So whatever the fluid is that comes from the organ. وغسل جميع الأبوال, that you have to wash all types of bowl, urine, or wrath and poop, wajib. So you have to make sure that you wash all that areas. Illa bowl sabi. So, and that's from whoever, except from the bowl of a sabi, which is a small boy. Alladhi lam yakul, that's not eating a ta'am yet. So the small baby boy that's still like breastfeeding or whatever, or drinking milk, he doesn't eat food, doesn't eat solids. So the baby boy, if he uh, urinates, you just what? Sprinkle water on it, right? Or remove it. But you don't have to make a complete washing. فإنه يطهر برش, so with the sprinkling, رش الماء عليه. ولا يعفى عن شيء من النجاسات إلا اليسير من الدم والقيح. So so with regard to like the blood and the vomit, if it's small amounts, then it's okay. And also uh, other like insects or anything that they don't carry blood, they're not najasa. For example, وما لا نفس له سائلة إذا وقع في الإناء. So if it fell like in your utensil or something, it doesn't make it najasa. ومات فيه, even if it died in it, فإنه لا ينجسه, it doesn't make it impure. So those, if a bug or something fell into your thing, but it's not bugs that are like uh blood flowing, blood things like that, so that it doesn't make your water or whatever that you have impure. All right. وحيوان كله, and all animals طاهر إلى الكلب, except for the dog, والخنزير, and the pig, وما تولد منهما, and what comes from them from birth, all men from the mixing of them or either of them. So animals like the cat is what it's clean. So just if you touch it, you don't break your wudu, right? Even though some people scatter cats, but it doesn't break their wudu, right? Right, but the calib is different. The dog is different. Even if they have allergies to cats, but it's still it's okay animal. So ما حيوان طاهر وعبارته تصدق بطهارة الدود تولد من النجاسات وكذلك. طيب اوكي. آه، طيب. So those from the النجاسات وميتة كلها. uh no, we say we're stopping there, inshallah. So we stop with there with the things that are impure. Uh, so I want for you to look at, if you have the book, to read parts for the different animals. Let's say the Islamic with the Jarad, the Adami. Uh, okay. So yeah, so complete that part with the animals. Where it says like talk about the fish and the uh what you call it, the not the grass of locust, yeah, locust. What's the difference between those two, the grasshopper and the locust? I think they're about the same, right? Yeah. Right. I think they're more aggressive or something, and they fly. Yeah, the grasshoppers don't fly; they just hop. Yeah. Mm, okay. So they're the same family, right? Okay. Khair, inshallah. So then also look at the next so that and the removing the filth. So read that, removing the filth. All right. Let's pause, inshallah. And then we're going to Quran, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد ان لا اله الا انت